Hello, lovely humans, Jen Foxbot here. In this video, I want to give you 10 ways to get a job in tech, even if you don't have a computer science degree. Totally fine, you can still get a job in tech and be successful, but there are definitely some things you're going to want to do first. So before we do that, I want to back up and say the first question that you should ask yourself before you pursue a job in tech, or honestly any job or any subject in school, is why do I want to do this? Maybe the answer is that you think tech is super cool and you want to help contribute to it. Totally valid. Maybe it's that you want a good salary and a stable job and some really good benefits. Also totally valid. Just make sure you have that conversation with yourself, because we only have one life in this body and we spend a lot of it working, and it's really important for us to understand our motivations so we can get through the challenging times. Every job is going to be hard at some point. And also so that we can be honest with ourselves about where we are finding meaning in our lives. Maybe we get it from our job. I get a lot of meaning from my job. Maybe if we don't, we need to find it in other places, and that's totally okay. So that said, have that conversation with yourself. And then here are some tips, 10, because 10's a nice round number, on how you can get a good job in tech. Number 1, build a portfolio. A portfolio includes examples, concrete, tangible examples of things that you are capable of. Before I got started with my business and before I got a job at Microsoft, I spent a lot of time building a portfolio of things I could point to and say, I did this, I have these skills, it took XYZ to build this project, and because it is out there in public, y'all can see what I am capable of. Do that. GitHub is a great place for software projects. I used maker websites like Instructables and Hackster because I was building a lot of stuff with electronics. Find a site that fits the role that you want. Which leads me to number 2, figure out what specific job in tech you want. What industry do you want to work in? Where do you want to work? And then do some research on that specific role. Look at job postings. What types of skills are these job postings looking for? What coding languages are they asking for? What developer tools and platforms are they asking that you know? Do they want you to know Python? Do they want you to be able to program in Swift or whatever? What other types of skills are there? Soft skills that they're looking for, communication and management, those types of things. So look at job postings and try to do some research on, what types of jobs are found in different companies, if that makes sense. Hopefully I said that clearly. And then once you have done that and you're starting to build a portfolio, use the verbiage from the job postings in your resume. That said, make sure that you're always honest. That's the most important thing. Always act with honesty and integrity. Very important. So don't put languages that you're not comfortable with on your CV. What I like to do also on my CV or my resume is to identify the languages that I am proficient in, for example, Python, and the languages that I'm like so in. So a good one for that would be, HTML. I'm like kind of okay at HTML. I could figure things out, but it's not one I would say I'm proficient in by any means. I also put the tools that I'm able to use when it's relevant. And when you're applying to different jobs, you can change up your CV to meet those different roles. Highlight specific skills for that job based on the job posting. Okay, that was a really long one. Number 2 is very long. The next few are pretty short. Number 3, learn how to read code. You're gonna read way more code than you're ever gonna write code. Because we write code and then we read it. We read other people's code. We have to read our code when we debug it, etc. Learn how to read code is number 3. Even higher than learn how to write code. Number 4, learn how to debug code. It never works the first time. I shouldn't say that. Sometimes it works and you're like, what did I do wrong that I'm not missing or that I'm missing? So learn how to read error messages and learn how to basically fix your code. Number 5, are we at number 5 or at number 5? Learn how to use code libraries and APIs and SDKs. Anytime we want to build a more robust or more complex type of code project, we are going to be using code libraries, APIs, and SDKs. If you get a job in tech as a software engineer, that will likely be your regular day-to-day. So get familiar with those. And again, for the particular job role that you're in, figure out what those common libraries are, what those SDKs are. For example, if you want to be a machine learning programmer or a data scientist, you're going to be working with, SDKs like TensorFlow and things like that. So get familiar with those. Number 6, learn how to manage your time, especially when it comes to large projects. Take breaks. Can't stare at a screen all the time. It hurts our eyes and our brain and our souls. So learn how to chunk big projects and make sure that number 7, practice a little bit every day. If you code every single day for at least an hour, you will be proficient in a few months. A little bit every day builds up to some seriously impressive skills. Number 8, communicate. Add comments to your code that make sense. Write your code in a way that meets style guidelines so that other people can read your code effectively. Learn how to describe what your project is doing, and learn how to, practice talking about yourself, what you're capable of, what you're excited in, what you're motivated by. Communication is critical for tech jobs, and it's something that we really don't highlight enough. Just because you're a good programmer doesn't mean you're going to be successful at your job, because you need to be able to communicate what you're working on. You need to be able to understand what other people are asking of you, and you need to be able to work with other people. So communication. Number 9, connect with folks in the field where you want to work in and find mentors. You might need to, the reason why building a portfolio is number 1 is that you will probably need to demonstrate that you're serious by having a portfolio you can point to before a mentor may be willing to take you on, unless you have a good rapport with them. Once you find some mentors, listen to them. Read the things they tell you to read, practice the things they tell you to practice, and show them progress. That said, I've had some mentors that truly didn't have my personal best interests at heart, and so know when it's not mutually beneficial and know when to walk away. So trust yourself. And finally, number 10, persist, persist, persist. I probably should share my failures more, because I have failed so many times. I have had so many points where I thought I couldn't do it, or I couldn't make it, or my business wasn't going to make it, or my business was going to fail, that I didn't know what I was doing. That was honestly a big reason why I spent so much time building my portfolio, because I was like, well, if I can point to these projects, people can't deny that I have those skills, because here they are, front and center, with thousands of people who are like, oh yeah, I built this project. This was actually really helpful. So persist. Trust yourself. Give yourself breaks. Remember that your value is not the job that you have. You matter as a human being, regardless of what you're doing or what you're contributing to. And your value exists outside of the things that you do. So just keep at it, keep trying, and eventually you will start to see progress, and you will land something that you should be and hopefully will be proud of. Okay, I hope that that's helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to reach out if you're looking for any resources. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!